Days, 9 p.m. on TV 33. Join me, Barry Ross, on Mixing It Up. We'll feature informative community organizations that will offer solutions to Wayne County residents in reference to employment, safety, and security within neighborhoods, job training, education, and mentoring programs. Remember, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Join me, Barry Ross, Mixing It Up on TV 33. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another segment of Mixing It Up. My name is Barry Ross, and I am more than proud to be able to have this opportunity to come into your homes. We broadcast to you live on this show on TV 33 in most of Detroit, as well as Comcast 20 in all of Detroit for those that have Comcast cable. We also have an online feed capacity. If you go to, on the computer, TV33live.com. You can catch us live. And the station itself has a live Facebook feed. If you go into the new TV33 WHPR and you hit the word like, and then you hit the word welcome, you'll see a live this show will be live for you. And I have all my shows downloaded onto a continuous video player on Mixing It Up with Barry Ross on Demand. I know it's long, but it has to say on demand because that's the review feature. So Mixing It Up with Barry Ross on Demand, you go in and you hit like, and then you're going to hit on demand, and all my previous shows will come up. This show tonight will be downloaded on my video player by Monday. Anytime you want to see it, you can go in and review it. We also want you to know that we need you to feel welcome. This is our show. This is a community broadcast. So please call in. We want your comments. We want your opinions. And we want your thoughts on how to better our show and what else we can do to make this more community-oriented. And we need you to be community-oriented, to say the least. So all these numbers are 313-868-0342, 868-0351, 868-4336. Tonight, I have some great guests. And my first guest in a few minutes that I'm going to get to. There's a great event going on this Saturday. I believe it's at the Butzel Recreation Center. We're going to get all these facts this Saturday morning. Hershey's Corporation is sponsoring its 35th year, and we're going to find out if Hershey's has always been behind this, a track and field meet with games for children from 9 to 14 years old. And we have two representatives here tonight that are part of Parks and Recs in Detroit, maybe interim director, maybe not. So who we have here tonight, we have Christina Strickland, and we have Sue Norander, manager from the Detroit Parks and Recs Department. And also we were expecting the local blogger from Detroit Mommies.
That would be me,
Okay, Christina Strickland is the local blogger from Detroit Mommies. So in a few minutes we're going to hear what they're all about. And next we have the Grill King. This man has been on Fox 2. He builds barbecue. He builds grills. So he's known as the Grill King. His name is Robert Felton. And I'm also very, very proud to you tonight to introduce to you a very interesting man, Geronimo. Geronimo, and he's going to correct me on this, I'm sure, is I'm going to use this title as an introduction, a Moorish etymologist. He's in the Moors, and he's a word historian. And we're going to find out how we all use the English language in an inappropriate manner. We don't know what we're talking about. We use words that we really need to know in what context our words need. And I'm sure it's going to be a very interesting interview, to say the least. And then lastly, I have Vinton Talley. He's an author, and he has a past. And he's here tonight to talk to us about it. He's going to close out the show. Listen, everyone. It should be painfully apparent to you by now that there's over 100,000 abandoned houses in Detroit. These houses are hideouts and safe havens for sexual predators, rapists that prey on our women and children and our babies. We can no longer sit back and not do anything about it. We have formulated the Greater Detroit Restoration Project. We board up houses. Last week we had a fundraiser at the McDonald's down the street, and we raised $2,500, thank God. But we need so much more. We want to do complete communities. Now, we're laying down for the guys and the young ladies on the street that are taking control of these streets. These predators that hang out in these houses, that plan and prey on you, we can no longer sit back. I know I can't. I know that I, as a man, have to stand up and make a difference in this city. We're going to go out in all areas of Detroit, and we want to board up these houses. We want to do the lawns, and we want to re-engage the community. We have a government that's not there for us. We have a police department that is barely there. They close at 4 in the afternoon and open up again in the morning. My God. How much more are you going to sit back and take? Does it have to be your mom? Does it have to be your daughter that gets raped before you start to make a difference? We're asking you to send us $1, $5. Get involved. You can mail us a check payable to the Greater Detroit Restoration Project, and you can send it to 17301 Livernois, Suite 405, Detroit 48221. Now, I want to tell you something. We're not getting one single cent of this money for our own good. Every cent is going to be spent in your neighborhood. We want to hear from you. We're asking you to get involved. You can call me at 248-417-9696, Minister Shabazz, 313-646-3375. They're preying on defenseless men, women, elderly. I mean, my God, when are you going to wake up and realize that it's our responsibility to save our own lives? What has to happen? Drug trafficking, crack, cocaine, heroin goes on in these houses. We are the solution. We, the people. It doesn't cost that much to do a house. It takes us about an hour and a half. You're going to see us over town. We have a logo that we paint on the sign, on the wood after, with some trees to show that who we are. We are encouraging you to get involved. Again, send checks to the Greater Detroit Restoration Project, 17301 Livernois, Suite 405, Detroit 48221. This Monday, we are boarding up a house that a young man was shot in at 2226 Fairview near Verner on the east side. 20 kids been hanging out in this house and getting high, doing drugs, and one day one kid came in, one young man, and just started flailing his gun around and he hit somebody. This is careless. This is unnecessary. It's our response. We're boarding up this house. We're coming to your neighborhood. We're coming out there. We want everyone to get involved. 2226 Fairview. And we have a Facebook page, the Greater Detroit Restoration Project. So without any further delay, we have some other pertinent issues we're going to get into later. I want to introduce our guests. Christina, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And Sue, thank you. First of all, you're from the Parks and Recs Department.
Yes, I'm from the Detroit Recreation Department, manager, and we're happy to have Hershey coming in to help us support this wonderful program for the youth.
Is this the first time it's being held here? Hasn't it been held here for many years, too?
Yes, it was held here for many years, and we were fortunate enough to have Elaine Mitchell step up and continue her service through the Paxton organization to keep the event going for the children in the community.
And what's the name of her organization again? Paxton?
Paxton, yes.
And what does that stand for?
Parents and Children Together in Action, I believe. It's
Okay,
something
all
similar
right.
to that.
Okay. They're not a new sponsor, are they?
No, Hershey's, this is their 35th year of sponsoring a track meet for the youth.
Wonderful. And where is this going to be held?
It'll be held at the Adams Butzel Recreation Center, which is 10500 Linden, which is the Linden and Myers area.
Sure.
On the west side of Detroit.
And this is Saturday morning?
Saturday,
This Saturday?
This Saturday, the 16th, Registration is at 8 o'clock and the event starts at 9.
And what might we look forward to in terms of games and activities going on there?
Well, the recreation department is looking to do the actual track meet. There's several running events. There's dashes, distance running, softball throwing, and also a standing long jump. And then since we have a number of partners and organizations, Christine here, her group is going to be doing an actual birthday celebration through the Hershey organization.
Oh, okay, we're going to get to Christina. This event, we don't have, apparently, we don't have a physical fitness program in our schools like we did when I was a kid. I'm 60 years old. We used to have the baseball throw, sit-ups, climbing the rope, which I never could get to the damn top of that rope.
Me either.
I hated that rope, and we used to cheat. But anyways, so we don't have physical fitness due to economic constraints, right? Really,
Correct.
in our schools. So, and this is an age category ranging from,
9 to 14 years.
okay.
Yes.
And any child, any young child wants to compete, he needs to register at 8 a.m. in the morning at that address?
Yes, they can register on the day of the event, but they can also go to a local recreation center and register there to be able to be pre-registered for the event.
Free.
Everything is free on
Is
that
there a
day.
prize for winning events, or you get a ribbon, or?
The children that place do receive ribbons, and then at the end of the day, they're all winners because they all were involved in an activity.
Very good. Okay, and there's going to be plenty of security there.
Yes, we'll have a
Okay.
number of staff, number of volunteers, and plenty of adults out there. We're encouraging the adults to come out, be a part of the activities, make it a family fun event.
Is there a contact number they can call, or if they need to, or not necessary? Just show up Saturday morning?
You can just show up Saturday morning, and Hershey also has a website where there's some information, and I believe Christina will speak to
Okay.
the website.
All right. Hello again, Christina.
Hi there.
Hi. And your organization is?
DetroitMommies.com,
Okay.
right? And we are happy to be working with Hershey's to bring the Hershey's Track and Field Games to Detroit. Like Sue said, it's the 35th year, so it's their 35th birthday. I'll be out there with Detroit Mommies, and we'll be passing out jump ropes and sidewalk chalk and a bunch of other goodies, and giving out information on Hershey'sTrackandField.com,
You can hold it
where parents can download a guide to recreating some of the games and having fun in their own backyard or
Wow.
even in their house. It's absolutely free. The event is free, and not only will there be the activities for kids 9 to 14, the track meet, but we're going to be having family-friendly events too, like hopscotch and relay races and all sorts of things. So even the younger set, brothers and sisters, can come out completely free.
And food and beverage will be provided to some extent, I presume?
Well, we will have some
Water.
vendors there. We'll have water, and we do have some small snacks for the children.
And you'll have vendors?
Yes.
Food vendors?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I hope it'll be reasonably priced.
Oh, definitely.
Like I go to some events and the water's sky high, but I'm sure
Oh,
it's going to be
no.
reasonable.
Yes, it will.
And now Butzel Recreation Center, this is going to be outside in the playground. This is all set up. They have an actual track.
Yes,
or-
we do.
Okay.
Yes.
And how are we doing with our rec centers in this city? Are we in full bloom?
This year, yes, Mayor Bing is committed to keeping all of our recreation centers open. We may not be able to provide all the programming we've done in the past, but we are committed to continue to provide leisure activities for everyone in the city.
It's so important, to say the least. These children
Yes,
need
it
something
is.
to do after school.
Yes, they do.
Idle time is a killer. Okay, so what else do we have to? So you're gonna have games. You're gonna have contests.
Well, we have
Competing.
the meet. We have the meet that will be happening, and again, like Sue said, the children who place will receive ribbons, and then they can even move on to the regional events, and then from there, if they place there, they can even move on to the national event in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Right. Again, there will be the family-friendly activities for everybody to participate: sack races, hopscotch, relay races, and a bunch of other, just a lot of good, clean fun.
And any child falling under this age category can compete, regardless. And
That is correct.
Okay.
yes.
Completely inclusive, yes.
completely inclusive. And inclusive. Okay, that's great. What is Detroit Mommies exactly?
We're a website. We're an online magazine for the moms of Motown, where we feature different events, product reviews, giveaways, arts and crafts that you can do with your children, We also, do movie reviews. We keep it very, very family friendly. Recipes, meal planning, anything that can just help a mom out in the local Detroit area.
You have events as well, or it's just predominantly online info?
It
kind of
is
thing?
predominantly online, but we do have occasional get-togethers too.
Okay.
And meetups in different areas around town, just for coffee or something.
Okay, and there's really not funding available. It's not necessarily needed, really, or is there funding?
Our site is completely free for anybody to join and use.
Detroit Mom, it's a blog site, or is it a website? You said it's a website.
It's an online magazine for moms, so DetroitMommies.com.
Okay.
And starting tomorrow morning, we'll have more information about the Hershey Track and Field Games. And if they can't make it out to this Saturday, we do encourage people to go to Hershey'sTrackandField.com to find out where there will be another one coming up, because they are in 3,000 communities across the nation. So if you can't make it out Saturday, come out, check out their website, and find out where the next one will be.
Do you know that I was contacted via Washington, the state of Washington, from a PR agency somehow that's handling this? I had I met Elaine really on Facebook.
Okay.
I saw her post, and I wanted to, know if I could do something to help promote it. And then the next thing I know, I'm not talking to Elaine, I'm talking to somebody in Washington at an ad agency.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously this is very big.
Yes.
Okay, is there anything else we have to offer? Anything else you guys want to say in closing, or
Well, we do have a relay for you, a mix-it-up relay, so.
let's mixing it up?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Just come on out, and everyone, bring your families, have a good time, and enjoy the day, and enjoy all the wonderful things that we have here in the city of Detroit.
I just want to say that our nutrition in the city, due to the fact that there's not really, I don't know if you two are aware of it, adequate supermarkets and good fresh food available at reasonable, and this is not your fault, obviously I'm not attacking anybody, but most children are living on a diet of fast food, which is highly not nutritious. And we don't have a consistent exercise program for these kids. It's rampant that in our society, in our culture, in these cities, that children are getting the high incident rate of diabetes and several illnesses that children didn't used to get because of the poor nutrition. So this is a very important, needed event. Exercise, every child. When I was a kid and it was summertime and it was sunny, my mother wouldn't let me be in the house watching TV.
That's
Now they're
right.
watching, they're doing games and all this. Children need to get out and act like they're alive rather than just play virtual games online. And they all got the little games. I mean, it's a worse nemesis. This online technology is killing our children in fast food.
Well, that's what's going to be great about the games this weekend, is that we'll be reintroducing some of the old-fashioned games that we used to play as kids.
That's great. Okay, well, I certainly appreciate you both coming out. And again, just give them the information where this is Saturday morning, and they'll know where to go.
The meet will be held at the Adams Butzel Recreation Center, and that's located at 10500 Linden. That's Linden and Myers area. And registration is at 8, and the meet begins at 9. It's from children 9 to 14, but everyone in the family is invited. And Christina will give you the updated information on the Hershey portion.
So you can go to DetroitMommies.com tomorrow to get more information, or you can go to Hershey's Track and Field to download your own guide for recreating the games at home. And look for me, and I'll be passing out the jump ropes and the sidewalk chalk and other goodies for you.
Thank you very much for
Thank you
taking the
for
time out of your busy schedules and coming here and talking about it.
And
We'll do
happy
whatever we
birthday.
can. Huh?
Happy birthday to Hershey Track.
Happy
Yes.
birthday. All right, we'll be back in a minute. You guys stay seated. We'll be right back after this word from the good folks. So we'll be right back. Okay, thank you guys.
you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Man, what is taking so long? Let's play.
Just getting a number.
Whose number?
Narcotics Anonymous.
Hey, if you need to talk.
No way, it's not for me, it's for my brother. He's constantly wasted. Come on, hoop time. Can you tell me about NA?
Call Narcotics Anonymous. We can help you.
You're watching Power Talk on your community TV station, UHF TV 33, Detroit, Highland Park.
There are all kinds of people Their variety is almost endless, and that's a good thing. Diversity is our strength, and so are our similarities. But there's one thing that far too many people share: addiction. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, call Narcotics Anonymous. Addiction doesn't discriminate. We can help you.
We are the faces of Detroit.
You're watching Power Talk on your community TV station, UHF TV 33, Detroit, Highland Park. The following program does not reflect the views and opinions of Channel 33, its management, or sponsors.
For 100,000 abandoned homes within the city of Detroit. If you are tired of abandoned dangerous houses in your neighborhood, please support the Greater Detroit Restoration Project. Please make all checks and money orders payable to the Greater Detroit Restoration Project. The mailing address, 17301 Livernois, Suite 405, Detroit, Michigan 48221. All donations will help fund the expense of boarding up abandoned homes within the city of Detroit and Highland Park. For more information, contact Barry Ross at 248-417-9696 or Minister Malik Shabazz at 313-646-3375. The Greater Detroit Restoration Project's goal is to make it safe in our communities.
If you like to barbecue, if you like to have good food outside, if the weather's bad and you want to grill in the garage and your stove is down, if you want to have company over and you're having a outside picnic, a barbecue, don't go to the local hardware store and buy yourself an expensive grill and get ripped off. Get the old-fashioned working kind for a great price. Listen, I got a man on my show, our show, coming on in a minute, and he was on Fox 2 News talking about the grills that he manufactures. He makes them right at home. So it's very important. Listen, he's open, he's here, and you're going to find out how you can buy your own barbecue instead of going to Home Depot, the barbecue store, and getting beat and buying a grill that's going to break down and you don't have anywhere to get it fixed and you got company over and you don't know what to do. You're going to go to the Grill King. Robert Felton is Mr. Grill, Grill King.
Thank you, Barry.
How are you?
All right.
Thank you for coming on the show tonight.
I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited too. Tell everybody about yourself and what you've been doing, how you got started.
I'm an ex-Chrysler employee. Lee Iacocca in the early days, when he laid everybody off, I just, one thing they taught me how to do was weld. And I love to weld, man. I love teaching people to weld. And I built a neighborhood grill, and she come over. I had been laid off probably up to 80, 82, 83. Well, by 83, I said, well, I was just tinkering out in the garage, and I said, well, I'm gonna put a grill together. And I put it together with nuts and bolts, and the next thing that happened, a neighbor came over, she says, Robert, I wanna buy that. I said, okay, this might work. You know, I sold it to her. Next thing I know, her minister came over. Robert, I want one of those like Ms. Anderson has. I said, okay, great. I said, you know what, this might be catching on. Someone said, Robert, build some of these, take them up on 7 Mile, DeQuinder, which I'm still there today, and see what happened.
What's at 7 in DeQuinder?
That Star Break. That's why I had the grills out at. But I'm also on the internet at DetroitGrillKing.com.
Is this an empty lot or something?
Yeah, it's a break shop.
Okay, go on.
And I heard a millionaire say one time, he said you have to do the same thing you did in the beginning and the end also.
Okay.
You know, if you're selling in the beginning, you have to go back to selling in the end. I haven't made no $1 million yet, no. You know, but what I'm leading up to is the same principles, what you do when you start is what you do is you come along in the later years, you know. But yeah, but I've been on Fox 2. I've been Our Magazine, a full page.
Wow,
you
that's
know.
great.
Yeah, Detroit News.
Were you smiling in the hour?
I was loving it, man.
All right.
I was loving it. What's called Man on Fire. You know, also front page of the Detroit News. I made the front page some years ago. You know, but this is an industry that, you know, Henry Ford started off in his garage. Okay, and you know, I don't want to stay in that garage. I'm gonna be honest. I have a dream to have a manufacturing facility one day. You know, because a lot of things that I have produced are now coming out in grills. You never seen a charcoal grill in the old days with a warming rack up top. You know, I started that years ago.
You got a roll down top? What kind of top you?
A warmer up top in the grill. Concrete line grills. Nobody's challenged that yet. Well, they come close to it with the green egg. But I started that in '83, insulating line on the inside of the grill to keep it from burning out. I recently had a grill that came back, was 25 years old. It had a concrete lining. You know, the only reason
you made?
that I made it.
You mean it lasted for
And
25
it lasted
years?
25 years.
If I may, I just want to ask you, are these the barrel grills?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so they're not gas burning.
No.
Okay. And what do you use? What are the materials? You buy the drums.
I buy the drum new, right? Okay, or I use a food grade drum. Okay, or I use a wax drum. Okay, but drums, knowing what's in your drum is important. Okay, that's important. I learned that in the early years. You just can't pick up any drum, you know, and you shouldn't just purchase any drum.
What do you need to be in the drum that you think needs to be the proper?
You
kind of
need to
drum?
know a person that has a what I call a track record. Okay, if they don't have a track record, everybody and their mama trying to build a grill today. Okay, and you know you need to find somebody that has a safety track record. And the best thing, like I would say, is either a full grade drum or a new drum.
What kind of coating is it? You said a wax drum or whatever. What starting from scratch? Ideally, in raw materials? What kind of drum do you need to have the ideal drum?
Oil-based drum.
Oil-based drum.
Right.
Okay.
Those cost me $2. A new drum cost me $20. Then when I pass that cost on, I catch hell. You know?
Okay. Now, are these drums on wheels?
Yeah, it comes with wheels, warmers. Some of them have concrete linings, fireboxes. Like I said, if they go to DetroitGrillKing.com, you can see some of my work.
Flat screen TV, surround sound.
No, not yet, not yet. I have a grill on there called Picasso. It was stolen here in the city. I would like to find it right now.
Why? What makes that drum unique?
That grill was awesome. If you go to the internet, you'll see it. It's nothing like it. It was dual tires, 14 gauge steel. Like I said, you would have to see it on the internet.
All right, now you deliver these?
Yeah, I've done American Embassy Rome. I've done
What is American Embassy Rome?
a detachment of Marines.
Okay, but I don't know what that means.
I've built and sent a grill all the way to the American Embassy in Rome.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, but you build them and you'll deliver them to people's homes.
Yeah, for a fee.
And for a fee.
Yes.
And how much is it to deliver them?
Depending on where they live.
Okay, and you get and you warranty these grills, I guess.
Yes.
For how long?
You know, indefinite. You know, something break on my grill 2 years from now. Hey, Robert, this such and such happened. Bam, it's free to get it repaired.
Okay, now there's different sizes
Yes.
based on the drum, right?
Right.
Or can you put two drums together?
Yes, that's called a double. I do a double combination. A double combination is 6 foot long. Comes with heavy gauge racking on the inside, custom chimneys, wheels.
Wow.
You know, it's a cooking station. I also had a patent on the unit. It's called a searing setup. Do you remember the Flaming Emeralds?
Of course.
You
Downtown.
remember, right? Well, I developed a
Woodward.
system. I developed a system that makes that grill flame, just like you would see in the Flaming Emeralds. Okay, I got a patent on that.
Okay, now these grills have a release for the smoke to get out?
Yes, they do.
Or you can keep
Custom
the smoke
chimneys.
and make them smokers.
Right, they have a custom chimney. I have a smoker that I designed. It just in a 23-inch circumference. It holds 16 slabs hanging.
Wow. Okay.
Hanging.
How many racks? Now, are these double racks? Can you build a rack and a rack underneath? You
On
know,
the
like
smoker?
I want no, in any grill. I mean, I want a barbecue
right,
on top.
right.
Let's say I want to put my potatoes and the vegetables
Right.
and the corn on
Combination grill
top.
comes
Combination grill
with that. Combination grill comes with that.
with everyone.
Not with all the grills. Just different grills, different prices match. You know,
All right, what's your starting price?
$100.
$100.
Right.
And what do they get for $100?
A basic grill holds 6 slabs, stand, your meat rack, Rust-Oleum paint, out the door, $100.
Wow. And you'll deliver that.
Right.
Okay. And what's your website?
DetroitGrillKing.com. You also can find grills at K9 Dog Foods.
Wait. K9 Dog Food.
Yes, sir.
What is that?
That's
Is that a pet shop?
That's on, right.
K9 Dog Food.
Yeah, they've been selling a ton of grills,
Wait,
man.
where are they?
They're on Livernois, and right here in Detroit at the Lodge Freeway.
You know, I know a boxer named K9, but this is spelled Cannine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, K9. What?
Dog food.
And that is on Livernois.
Right. Livernois in the Lodge. Also, People's restaurant equipment, as of the day, started selling my units.
Okay, you have a phone number you want to give them?
Yeah. 313-221-0617. That's 313-221-0617.
And your website is?
DetroitGrillKing.com.
And you'll beat anybody's price, and you'll build a better grill than anybody else that builds a comparable grill.
I back my work and I stand on it.
Very good.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to tell everybody out there?
I give you a cooking tip today. Jalapeno wrapped with
Wait, excuse me. What was that?
jalapeno pepper. Take it and cut it in half. Get you some Philadelphia cream cheese. Wrap it with bacon. Throw it on the grill. It's not good for your cholesterol, but your company will love it, okay? Try that one. Or chicken wing on a stick. Okay, take your chicken wing, stretch it out, get you a kebab stick, and run it up the chicken wing. Skewer, okay. Put it on the grill, and your company will love it.
Now, you
Okay.
can grill fish. How do you like to grill good fish? In tinfoil? I like to put it in tinfoil.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Also, I like to I like salmon. I like to use olive oil on it.
Right.
With different seasonings.
Rosemary.
Right.
Little butter.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Do you like dry rubs
What's a dry rub?
that they put on ribs?
I don't know what a dry rub is.
You don't know what a dry rub
You
is?
mean just the dry seasoning?
It's a dry seasoning, right?
Well, if it's not spicy, I can't.
Oh,
First of all, I don't
okay.
eat meat anymore. My
Okay.
meat eating days are gone.
Yeah, I think mine's about
Spice,
gone
too.
With diabetes.
All right, just give them your contact information.
Okay, my
again.
contact information again is DetroitGrillKing.com or 313-221-0617. And keep grilling out there, Detroit. We've had some great grill and barbecue shops in this city. Thank you.
And it's available at K9 what?
K9 Dog Foods and People's on Gratiot. People's Restaurant Supply on Gratiot.
I just don't see the pet food place and the grills in the same spot.
They're making money, man.
I
They
hear
do-
you,
they
but I'm
do-
just
yeah.
saying, I just would have a hard time going into a pet food place.
Not if you can't find a grill.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, dogs eat barbecue too. I used to barbecue for my cat.
Okay.
I used to barbecue salmon in the good days.
Man, that guy has moved a lot of grills over the
Okay.
years. Over the years,
Very
he's moved.
good.
It's just I started it just like Little Richard said. I started it. I started the barbecue displays out on the sidewalk before he did. Home Depot did.
Now, can you
know.
burn on a grill yourself personally?
I'm
Can you
bad, man. I won first place. Wasn't even at the contest.
For-
Serious. This was a City of Detroit contest. Everybody was talking big trash. Where's the Grill King? I showed up that morning, 6 o'clock. I'm here. You know, they started watching my show. I had put my tent up all by myself. I didn't have no crew with me or team. I assembled everything. I had a cookout later to do that afternoon. I get a call. You just won first place ribs. You know, so I'm awesome on the ribs, man. I used to have the smokehouse on State Fair. I'm working on opening back up another restaurant, though. You know, it's a killer. I was at the Michigan State Fair, the last one. I don't know if you were there or not, but I did the last Michigan State Fair. I did pork butts. Do you
Pork butts.
Do you know what pork
Sounds
butts
good
are?
No,
Yeah.
I can imagine.
I did smoked pork butts. That was some hard work. That was some hard work. you know. But I appreciate you having me on your show tonight.
My pleasure, and I hope that you have a great summer. And, you know, we're having a barbecue outside July 7th for R.J. Watkins' birthday. Big day. Vendors are coming out. They're going to be grilling. Let's take a quick call. Good evening. You're on the air.
Hi, I wanted the phone number again. Would you consider making smaller grills for a family of just two?
I might have something for you.
Okay, will you repeat your phone number? Because I tried to call it and somebody answered, so I figured I had the wrong number.
221-0617.
221-0617?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good evening. You're on Mixing It Up with the Grill King.
What's up, Rob?
What's up?
Know what this is?
No, I don't.
Who'd you give your card to the other day? Who used to work with you?
Ruby?
Yes.
Hi, Ruby. How you doing?
All right. What you doing on WHPR?
This is his show, his new show. This is the Grill King special.
I told him that's my station.
All right. Anything else you want to ask him?
No.
Okay. Are you Ruby D?
Huh?
Are you Ruby D?
Not Ruby D, but I'm Ruby.
All right, Ruby. Ruby, when will you be mine?
All right.
Thanks, Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We appreciate you coming out. And sit tight for a minute. We'll be right back with the amazing Geronimo and his son, Ryan. Great young man. All right. We'll be right back. You are going to want to check me out. First Wednesday of every month. Join me, Barry Ross, remixing it up. It's webtv.com. I'm going to be reporting to you the facts and the truth, the way our society is run. Now, bringing you featured guests in relation to community, education, violence, what's happening on the streets in our town. It's Web TV, Barry Ross, remixing it up. Wednesdays at 8 p.m., the first Wednesday of every month. Remember, remixing it up with Barry Ross on itswebtv.com.
Hi, Mom. Where'd you get all this Narcotics Anonymous stuff from?
Mrs. Owens had Narcotics Anonymous come and talk to our class about meetings that can help people stop using drugs.
Narcotics Anonymous?
Yes, please. Can you help me?
Call Narcotics Anonymous. We can help you.
We are the faces of Detroit.
We are the faces of Delray.
We are the faces of Delray. Governor Snyder wants to put us out of our homes by building a bridge in our front yard.
Homes where we raised our families.
A community where we buried our loved one.
Delray is struggling, but it's not lifeless. It's a community of hopes and dreams.
Governor Snyder.
Invest.
Not destroy.
1,000 men's suits. And right now at Sermons, you can buy one and get two free. Not one suit, but two free. Buy one suit, bring two friends. Buy one suit, bring two relatives. Buy one suit, get two free. Bring your pastor, your boss, your teacher. Buy one suit and get two free. Sermons with 90 years of experience, carrying jeans, exotic skin shoes, sets, shirts, leather, sweaters, everything for the well-dressed man. Buy one suit, get two free. Sermons on Randolph in downtown Detroit.
Hey, come on. Man, what is taking so long? Let's play.
Just getting a number.
Whose number?
Narcotics Anonymous.
Hey, if you need to talk.
No way, it's not for me, it's for my brother. He's constantly wasted. Come on, hoop time. Can you tell me about NA?
Call Narcotics Anonymous. We can help you.
You're watching Power Talk on your community TV station, UHF TV 33, Detroit, Highland Park.
Mixing It Up, TV 33, Comcast 20 in Detroit. I have Geronimo and his son, Ryan, who's next to me, and I want to welcome you both.
Nice to meet you.
For coming on.
Thank you.
And before I get into, we get into words, I just want everybody to know, this young man here is going to medical school.
Yeah.
And you just graduated with honors.
Honors, yes.
And we want everyone to recognize the fact that there are successful young men in this city that are doing well and going on, and we obviously have to credit, of course, Ryan, but his father and mother for raising, if that's the proper terminology, being in the household under the stewardship of your father and mother, that we're very proud to show the city and anybody that's watching that there are good young men. And the young men that wear their hats sideways, got their pants hanging down, that doesn't mean that they're all bad criminals doing drugs, hurting people. We have to recognize that it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with what young men wear that makes them necessarily criminals. But this young man is going to college. What college are you going to?
I'm going to U of M.
U of
or
M.
University of Michigan.
And it's not easy to get into.
No, it's not.
And you plan on taking up medicine?
Yes.
What have you decided yet?
I wanted to be a pediatrician.
Pediatrician.
Yeah.
Tell everybody what a pediatrician is.
Pediatrician is a doctor that consults and deals with children. So.
That's
yeah.
very good. I'm very proud of you.
Thank
you know,
you.
I met. Not kids, children. I met these two when they came into Sermon's Close, and I would just had to get the son on Ryan. So, and Geronimo, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And you are an etymologist. You study words, research words.
I'm curious about the English language. Something I use on a daily basis. I haven't mastered it, but I want to know exactly what words mean. And I listen to people, be it so-called leaders in the so-called black community.
And the white community.
Well, mainly I'm concerned about the Aboriginal people.
Okay.
Because your people are doing pretty good. It don't matter what you say.
Okay, go on.
Okay.
I'm turning this over to you. I want to hear what you have to. We want to hear what you have to say.
We just I want to talk about words that we commonly use in our neighborhoods that are probably destructive in nature. The reason we use words is to communicate, and when you use a word and you don't understand what it means, then you suffer. As far as communication goes, so it's a lack of communication with our people.
Go ahead.
We use a lot of slang, which is we'll give the definition on slang also, and who actually used it, and why they used it.
An alternative to conventional Webster's English.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Well, it's going to be informal, being slang.
Street,
formal,
so to speak.
Slang.
Okay, go on.
Okay. This is a word that we
freely
that we see we hear all the time, and it's a word when people are talking about their children, they tend to refer to them as kids. And when you look in the dictionary, you'll find that a kid is what, Ryan?
A young goat.
To move forward. Tell
Or
them again.
it could be an
young
antelope,
goat.
or an
A
antelope,
goat.
or an antelope.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Now, white people do this too all the time. My kids. That's not just a ethnic term. That's across the board. My kids.
But we articulate, we acculturate somebody else's reality. How we learned English is by listening to the slave master or other people that were in control, right?
Go ahead.
So we'll listen to you and then we'll say the same thing. Not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong, but we need to examine the words before we start saying them.
Okay.
So a kid is an animal. So if I'm calling my kid, calling my child a kid all day, and that word has a reality to it. Because if I was on a farm and I talked about my kids and my chickens and my cows, someone that knew the business would know what I'm talking about.
But if your child doesn't know that it means a kid, where's the harm laying?
Well, they should know.
But if they
because they go
don't?
to school. They go to public schools, all right? What do we learn in school? What are they teaching the children in school?
50% of the youth that graduate in this city
Okay.
have a problem with reading and writing, the illiteracy rate.
Right.
So I don't know if all this, it might be taught, but is it retained? Do they hear it?
Well, it's probably not being taught because they teach connotatively. Because my son, he told me about a time he was doing some work, and the instructor told him he didn't want the denotation. He didn't want the etymology, the primary definition. He wanted the connotation.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what he
The
gave.
meaning, the meaning.
Right, the
Mhm.
secondary meaning of the
secondary-
word instead of
mhm,
the primary
mhm.
meaning.
Sure.
So it's just like if I said the kids of Israel, it wouldn't sound right. You would properly say the children of Israel. Because kids will be goats, and that's all they're ever going to be.
Is this being in the most literal sense, though? I
Yeah,
mean,
of course.
okay.
If I called you a dog, I mean, it has a meaning, right? You know what a dog is. It's no different than me calling you a dog. If I called you a kid, they're both animals. But we can use slang. If you look in the dictionary, they'll use slang, and they'll say a child. But who used slang? Can I read something regarding slang?
You got it, man. It's yours. You're here to teach.
Okay, let's go over slang. This came from the Oxford's 1955. Vocabulary used by persons of a low, disreputable character. Language of a low or vulgar type. Let me give you another one from another dictionary.
Now, who would this be? A low or vulgar type?
You tell me. Who
Well,
would that be?
that's what I'm asking. Who are they relating this to?
Who do you call low and vulgar? Is it
some-
people that you refer to as those you
Somebody
call low
evil and mean?
criminals?
It doesn't, yes.
Right. That's
Right.
That's who used the language.
Doesn't necessarily have to mean poor or uneducated.
No, just criminals.
Okay, criminal, the criminal element.
Right. Gypsies also used it. Thieves, criminals. The uneducated, they would use it. But it was used as code because they were doing criminal activity. So at the time, they didn't want the police to understand exactly what they were saying. So they had a code language, and it was called slang. They couldn't understand it. Okay, let's go to Webster's New International Dictionary, 1924.
That's new?
1924. Slang. To use abusive language or insulting words, originally used by thieves, gypsies, and beggars. That's slang, right?
Nomads.
So is it the true meaning of the word? Kid, what is a kid?
Goat.
Is it a child or a goat? Just reality. You can't change the meaning of a word just because you put connotative
Meaning to it.
entry-level definitions and try to trick the people.
How about we get into some more commonly misused words that are really detrimental, that are used more often?
Well, let me
in
get-
the day-to-day culture.
Let's stay with the animals, okay?
Bitch.
I want to stay with the animals.
Go ahead.
Because our brothers call themselves dogs.
What's up, dog?
What's a dog? What is a dog?
An animal.
But it's what gender? It would be a male dog.
Okay.
Because
A bitch is a female dog.
right. Okay, let's go through the dictionary on this one. This is coming from Webster's.
But excuse me, we know, and the people know that watch this, that when they say "What's up, dog," it's really a term, even though it's negative, a term of endearment. You know what I'm saying? You ain't seen your, but I'm just saying, I haven't seen you. Hey, dog, what's up? But you don't take
If you
offense to
called
that.
me a dog, I would be offended.
That's you. But
And
we know
anybody should be.
they should be.
You calling me a
But
dog?
yes,
man. I'm
it's.
not a dog.
I understand.
I don't walk on four legs. Come on now. Let's be real.
But how common
we
is
have
that
to correct
used?
what we're saying because it's going to make you act in a different manner. You're going to act like an animal. We find a lot of instances in our community that people act like animals. Maybe the words are causing these problems because words and images shape our reality. It's the words you're using. Okay, let me get back to dog. Okay, Oxford Dictionary, 1955. Dog, the male of this species. A person in contempt or a worthless, surly, or cowardly fellow. So are you a dog? When it's So that's the definition when you refer to people. It's a coward, right? Right? Is that good or bad? Okay, let's get another dictionary. Webster's New International Dictionary, 1924. A male dog, a mean, worthless fellow. So how you gonna change the meaning when you didn't write the book? Nobody in the neighborhood is writing dictionaries. They're trying to change meanings, but they can't.
They want to short everything.
You can't, because it causes problems. Now, what's a bitch? A female dog. Also, it's a female fox, or a female wolf, or any other beast. Well, I see women referring to other women, they call them bitches.
And O's.
Well, we know, though. You
Right.
can be a hoe.
Bitches and O's. No, but I'm just saying.
You can't be no bitch.
Go on.
So you can be a hoe. Okay.
I've been a hoe in my life.
A whole lot of people been hoes.
Go ahead.
Okay. So let's get to another word that is commonly used and misused by so-called people that's supposed to be trying to help uplift the people out of their present condition in the community. It's a word called minority. Now, what's a minority?
Less than the majority.
Is it?
Well, what is it?
I'm asking you. Can you tell me?
Say like a child.
It's a what?
A child.
It's a child. It's a
Minor.
child. So let's look at Oxford Dictionary, 1955. Minority, the state or of being minor or underage. Give you number 2 in that same dictionary.
A minor and minority mean the same thing?
That's the root word, right? If you look at the
Yeah,
word
I understand,
minority,
but
you see
minority,
what, minor,
when
with a suffix.
if
on
you
it.
looked up minority in a current dictionary today, it would say minor.
It's going to give you
Well, I guess
entry level meanings, and it's going to give you the etymology.
But you know what? A minor is part of the greater sum. So if you took a group and you could say the minor, that means the smaller part. It doesn't necessarily
That's
mean a youth,
what-
right? Doesn't necessarily mean a youth.
That's the connotative meaning.
Right.
Now let me get back to
Go
the
ahead.
dictionary, and I'm gonna break it down for you. Okay, the condition or fact of being smaller, inferior, or subordinate, right? Now let's get to another dictionary. Webster's New International Dictionary, 1924. Minority, opposed to majority, as the minor must be ruled by who? The majority.
Right.
We're talking about conditions here. We're not talking about percentage-wise. That's the secondary meaning. But the primary meaning and the meaning that was actually used initially meant somebody was inferior, somebody that was underage, and somebody that couldn't take care of themselves, even if they were like 30 or 40, 60 years old. They were minorities, and so they were ruled by the majority. Okay, let me read one more. This is Columbia 1994 Encyclopedia. Minority. In international law, the name commonly given to a racial group possessing a common culture and occupying a subordinate position in a state, country, or nation, controlled by another nationality.
So this is what word? Minority again?
Yeah.
Controlled by another nationality.
Of course. Because a minority is a child. If you look in Black's Law's dictionary, it'll say the state or condition of a child, a minor, or infant. That's according to law. Now, when you look at the word majority, then what's the majority?
And like they would take the United States as a whole, and whatever group is the minority, the majority is
So
the
the majority
nationality.
would be the adult. Because in any household, there's a majority and there's a minority.
But not nationality.
Okay. I'm just going to try to give you an example how this stuff works. Okay. In your house, you have a wife and a husband, maybe 2 children. The wife and husband are the majority. The children, maybe 3 children, they are the minority because they're minors, they're underage. They don't have any rights. They have privileges. The majority has all the rights. They set all the rules. So if the majority gave the minority child something, they could take it away. That's your punishment because you don't have any rights. It's the same thing when you look at the situation of our people when they propagate these terms and it doesn't apply. And in a position where you'll never get out of the state you're in at the present time, because you can't get out of that connotative thinking.
Well,
You-
this
you're
has
looking
to
at
be
the
taught.
secondary meaning.
You and I had discussed earlier where these principles are being taught.
Right.
And unless they're caught early, you know, in our society all over the world, it doesn't matter what country you live in.
Right.
We all use the wrong word. So
But it's not. Whose fault is it?
I don't know if it's necessarily a fault.
It's a fault if I calling myself something that I'm not. I'm 53 years old. I am not a minority. But you'll see people calling themselves children and giving their rights away. We're talking about legally. A minority can't take care of itself. The majority tells you that. And if we look at percentage-wise, the Aboriginal indigenous people outnumber them in North America, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're incorrect both ways when we see the word minority and we think it's the lesser of the number of the population.
All right, if I may, are you, for the viewership, are you a black man? In terms of you and I, am I a white man? Are you a black man? Is this your black son?
Okay. Now, I got a color TV. When I look at TV, when I see President Bush, I see a pink man or a pinkish red man. When I look at that TV, I see you. I see.
You see me
I
as.
see reddish pink, and when I look at me and my son, I see brown. If you're talking about color,
I'm asking you.
I'm telling you, you're talking about color, right?
I'm talking about.
You're not colorblind.
Would we identify ourselves
Right.
as you as a black man, him as your black son, and me as a white man, or am I a man?
Well, you're a man, but you can take on these labels and these tags. But the thing about when you say you're a white man, that makes you superior over the black man, because
Why?
they're social caste words. People don't really get that.
Well, I don't feel I'm superior.
Not you.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
But your people at large, the ones that's running everything, those are the ones.
So when you shave-
hold on, let me finish.
Go ahead.
They coined a phrase to call themselves the white man, because you look in the dictionary, white is what? Superior, pure, godly, all these things. Look at it in the dictionary, look up black. Dirty, filthy, evil, all these things.
Why does
That are not
why
good.
does government forms ask us to identify our race? I have been fighting this. I said this at the Senate subcommittee hearings. We need to take our race. Why does the government need to know she's Hispanic, you're black, whatever race we are? Why do we need, what is it? They're giving more money to the black area today. They're giving more money to the white. Why do they need to identify?
It's control.
It's
You
control.
control
I understand.
people by telling them there are some different races out here. If you look in the dictionary, the word race means me and you get on a line and somebody shoots a gun and we run to a certain point. It doesn't exist. This is something that was made up by scientists, and especially a guy named Johann Blumenbach, probably in 1765 to 1835. He came up with this color-coded thing, and it's a game, and it was to divide the people, the Aboriginal people, indigenous people, right? To divide them, so you got black over here, you got brown over here, you got yellow over here, you got red over here, and who's on top? White.
So if you take you, we're talking about you, not you in general, a socially conscious, just for argument's sake, a black man, African American man, like Khalid, just listen to me, Khalid Muhammad, Minister Shabazz, Malik Zulu Shabazz, Malcolm X, would they be incorrect to not claim their blackness?
Well, Dr. Khalid Muhammad stated on many occasions he was a Moor, but he also used the black thing. Because certain leaders use things that the people are used to. They know the truth, but they'll propagate falsehoods. Because they're hiding stuff because they think the people can't handle it. Because you can't say that you're white.
Which people can't handle it?
The people that they're so-called leading. to freedom, to justice, to liberty, whatever you want to call it, whatever they're trying to do. They got an agenda, but they have to maintain the people's interest. If they start telling these people something like I'm talking about, then they'll probably lose them. Maybe not all of them,
right,
but
do
most
you,
of them will leave.
not to interrupt, do you agree that for argument's sake, for conversation,
Okay.
to make a point, African-American race, black race, was oppressed by the Caucasian race for centuries to come? Yes or no? Oppressed.
Well, if you're going to start from the beginning.
Well, yes or no?
If you start from the beginning or the end.
I'm 500 years ago, going back to the 1500s.
Well, we were on top. We were on top.
Okay.
Because if you look at the slave, you people enslaved your own people. The word slave comes from the word Slavic.
But I got a point to this, if you just
We were
follow.
abducted.
Okay.
It was an abduction.
The black
going on.
race was abducted from the homeland, correct?
Some of them.
Okay, let's just say, just listen for a minute. I knew we were getting,
Right.
all right, the black race was abducted from the homeland. So why would it
But
be wrong?
You keep using these words, the black race. They were people.
Black
When you-
people,
when-
men and women.
when
Just
you
just
start-
for a
no,
minute, just for a
hold
minute.
it. No, you're trying to do the same thing that you said the
No,
government's
because I
doing.
got a point to this.
You're doing the same thing you said the government is doing. They got the census report and got all this. For the so-called Negro, the black man, African American, it's three different choices.
But this has nothing to do
But you
with
keep
it.
referring to black people.
But I
Why
need
you
to
can't
make
call them
this
people?
point. I
Right.
need to, just follow me for a
Right,
minute.
right.
Would it be not essential for black pride to still be recognized?
What's black pride?
Well, that's what I'm asking you.
You got to define these stuff you're saying to me. You keep saying black pride, black people. You know what I'm saying? You got to clarify that to me.
Consciousness.
Because you keep talking
the
about black people.
consciousness, the culture of the black culture that was was the black race the first race on earth? Do you
Of
believe?
course not.
It wasn't?
You're not following me. Race was invented by Germans. A German that said he was the founder of anthropology. Our people didn't call ourselves brown and
Egyptians,
black and yellow
Egyptians,
and red.
Egyptians.
Oh, that's a Greek word.
Okay.
The
All
Greeks
right.
termed that phrase.
Listen, I'm going to invite you. I'm going to invite you back. I'm going to invite you back
All right.
because we're just getting into this, and I'm going to invite you back the
you
first
pissing me
week.
off.
That's okay. The first week in
Why
July.
you just can't say people?
People.
That were abducted by other people.
People that were abducted by other people.
They were people.
Okay.
But they weren't white people and they weren't black people.
All right. Listen.
I know my
have
colors.
We're going to take this up. We're going to take this back up.
Right.
I'm not skirting an issue. I have another guest. we're going to be right back, and we want to wish you
right.
the
Thank you.
best of luck in school.
Thank you.
And all our heart and soul is going to wish that you're safe in school, and that you be recognized for your greatness, and you do everything that you need to do to achieve your goals.
Thank you.
And I appreciate this man. He's super intelligent. And this is okay here. This is good dialogue. We're having you back. This
We
is
do it all the
Geronimo,
time.
the etymologist, and I love him. And I pissed him off, and that's okay.
You keep talking about black and white.
Okay.
That's the problem we having today. Ain't no such thing as a race.
Well, I'm not. I'm a clear
run a
man.
race.
I'm a clear man. we're going to be right back.
You're not clear.
We're
You're
going to be
pink.
right back with Mr. Talley, the author.
I
So
got a
stay
color
tuned.
TV at home, man. You look pink on my TV.
We'll be
Power Talk on your community TV station, UHF TV 33, Detroit, Highland Park.
Special bulletin.
Did you know that there are over 100,000 abandoned homes within the city of Detroit? If you are tired of abandoned dangerous houses in your neighborhood, please support the Greater Detroit Restoration Project. Please make all checks and money orders payable to the Greater Detroit Restoration Project. The mailing address, 17301 Livernois, Suite 405, Detroit, Michigan 48221. All donations will help fund the expense of boarding up abandoned homes within the city of Detroit and Highland Park. For more information, contact Barry Ross at 248-417-9696 or Minister Malik Shabazz at 313-646-3375. The Greater Detroit Restoration Project's goal is to make it safe in our communities.
We are the faces of Detroit.
We are the faces of Delray.
We are the faces of Delray. Governor Snyder wants to put us out of our homes by building a bridge in our front yard.
Homes, where we raised our families.
A community where we buried our loved one.
Delray is struggling, but it's not lifeless. It's a community of hopes and dreams.
Governor Snyder.
Invest.
Not destroy.
1,000 men's suits. And right now at Sermons, you can buy one and get two free. Not one suit, but two free. Buy one suit, bring two friends. Buy one suit, bring two relatives. Buy one suit, get two free. Bring your pastor, your boss, your teacher. Buy one suit and get two free. Sermons with 90 years of experience, carrying jeans, exotic skin shoes, sets, shirts, leathers, sweaters, everything for the well-dressed man. Buy one suit, get two free. Sermons on Randolph in downtown Detroit.
Hey, come on. Man, what is taking so long? Let's play.
Just getting a number.
Whose number?
Narcotics Anonymous.
Hey, if you need to talk.
No way, it's not for me, it's for my brother. He's constantly wasted. Come on, hoop time. Can you tell me about NA?
Call Narcotics Anonymous. We can help you.
Good evening, and I'm not even highly stressed. My last guest, Geronimo, he's quite a man. I'm proud to have had him here tonight. Thank you for coming, and his son, Ryan, going to be a doctor, and I look like a mad scientist. Right now, we have a very interesting young man who I just recently had the pleasure of making his acquaintance, Vinton Talley.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. You wrote a book.
Yes.
And tell us about yourself and where you've been and what your views are on yourself and life and your book.
Well, there's really not much that I could say about myself outside the context of the book that I wrote, Highland Park, Keeping Dates with Destiny. And before I begin, I have to say much respect to my best friend Samuel Belt, his mother Linda, and his two sons, Sam Jr. and DeMarco. And when you read the book, you'll see that Samuel Belt is my best friend who, we were involved in a tragic accident where my negligence caused his demise.
Go ahead. Now, you were childhood friends.
Yes, we were childhood friends.
I mean, very early in life.
You know, you didn't see him without seeing me coming up right here in Highland Park.
Okay, go on.
And
let's give everybody a brief overlay as to, if you want to tell them what happened. It's in the book, but.
Oh yeah, well, you know, it's very interesting though because I met him in a strange kind of way. You know, when we were just 6 years old, I had just left because I was in foster care. I grew up in foster homes, and I lived with a very abusive and sadistic foster mother. She was very evil. And when I left her home and I moved into the home of the Toonses, the family that adopted me, you know, I was crying. I was believing that this home was going to be exactly like my previous home. And she calmed me down by saying, we have a little boy your age who lives right next door. His name is Samuel. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we both were 6 years old. And, you know, as I say in the book, remarkably, you know, his name did calm me. And after that, he and we grew up in Highland Park. We went to school side by side. You know, whenever he got into a schoolyard beef, I was with him. You know, he had my back whenever somebody, you know, picked on me, and had a lot of love for him.
Right.
You know, him and his family. But at the age of 19, well, before, let me not skip there. He was an exceptional football player. Exceptional. And
what position did he play?
Oh, he was a running back.
Okay.
Right here for Highland Park, the Polar Bears. And he had a lot of schools, big schools, looking for him to recruit him.
Scholarships.
Yes, exactly. And that was his destiny. Because one of the things that I learned is that destiny is something that can be negative or positive. And the book, Keeping Dates with Destiny, destiny. We would love for Sam or anyone, myself, to stay on a path that will lead to a positive destiny. But he, just like myself, stayed on a negative path. He is led to his demise by way of my negligence, and then I continued in that life, and I eventually ended up in federal prison and was sentenced to 24 and a half years.
Oh my God, when you were how old?
21 years old. And one of the things, and I actually won my first appeal, and I went back to court. And when I went back to court, I was resentenced and was given 20 years, so 4.5 years was taken off. But upon that second sentencing, when the judge gave me 20 years, you know, he looked at me and he told me that you could have been somebody, but you're not going to be now. And I think that his words kind of motivated me to want to stand firm or stay firm on educating myself while I was inside and continuing while I'm out.
If I may ask you, what made him say you could have been somebody? What did he know about you?
Well, I have to be honest and say that I put on a show during the trial. During the trial in the case, and I think that he saw that the maneuvering and that I was doing in court, because I was actually studying. I started studying the law. I mean, from the county jail. I'm talking about I was in the law books every day, and I crafted a story, to try to beat the system. And of course, it was transparent. They saw right through it. But I think that he saw that there was some potential in my craftiness, and that is what made him say you could have been somebody. Too bad you're not going to be now.
Wow.
Okay. That's just what I believe.
Now you were 19?
I was 21 years old.
21. Okay. So he sentences you then?
Yes.
To how many years?
20.
20. And you go where?
I went to federal prison. I spent my time in Elkton. Usually that was kind of out of the ordinary. Usually federal guys, they go from prison to prison, but for some reason they had me in one joint for like 14 years. And in Ohio. There I studied federal law, and I helped a lot of individuals. I was a jailhouse attorney. I helped guys receive shorter sentences. I gave back a total of 7 years myself. I really could be in prison right now. 2.5 of the years came off because they changed what was known as the infamous 100-to-1 ratio on crack to cocaine.
Explain that.
Well, the federal government in 1987, excuse me. In 1987, they passed a law which made crack 100 times worse than powder cocaine. And of course, this had a racially discriminatory impact on African Americans, because they were the group where I would say that crack was endemic amongst that particular group. And so we were the ones ended up in prison with much larger sentences than those who had much larger quantities of powder cocaine. And so they tried to make the necessary adjustment to address the disparity by reducing the disparity from 100-to-1 to 18-to-1. There's still a disparity, even
still.
What
does the 100-to-1 really mean? What is that? Is that a ratio of the rock? What does that mean, 100-to-1?
Well, Congress, they had to admit that they just grabbed that number out of the sky. It was not based on any type of scientific study at all.
It's just a term?
No. If you get caught with 1 gram of,
it's the same as 100?
It was the same as 100. 1 gram of crack was the same as 100 grams of powder cocaine.
Is this still in effect today?
Well, it's 18-to-1 now. Now 1 gram, yes. Now 1 gram of crack is the same as 18 grams of powder cocaine.
Now, why were you you didn't get sentenced for cocaine? You were studying this or defending people that had the charges with crack?
No. I was sentenced for crack.
Not the other. That was it.
Yeah, I was sentenced for crack, and that was it. It was my first felony offense as well.
You got 24 years?
24 and a half. Well, that's it's
Did
crazy.
they catch you with? Did they
Well,
say?
yes, I was caught with only 3 ounces of crack is all I was caught with. But they have a legal mechanism in the federal system called
Intent to deliver?
No, it's relevant conduct, man. This is a monster because this is what enables the federal courtroom to sentence a guy based on ghost drugs. See, most of the people in federal prison are serving time, even though they were not caught with drugs at all. Or, I got more time for the drugs that I was not caught with than the drugs that I was caught with. And
Prison is a business.
Oh yeah, there's
it's an
absolutely no doubt about it.
institutionalized business. Okay, so go on.
Yeah, and so relevant conduct, is what causes the sentence to balloon out of control, and it actually gave birth to the monster of them all called acquitted conduct. Now, if you, let's say, get caught with just 1 rock, but then they go into your house and they find 10 kilograms, and you go to trial, and the jury
With a warrant, though.
Well, yeah, they go in with a warrant. The jury finds you guilty of the rock that they found in your pocket, but not guilty of the 10 keys in the house. The judge still has the discretion to sentence you
To the
for
full
the
amount.
keys to the full amount and give you 20, 30 years in prison. And this is happening every day.
How much does the prison system get for an inmate per day now?
It's $35,000 an inmate. No, my bad, a year. A year. $35,000 a year for each inmate. And a day, I don't know exactly what those figures are.
And can federal prisons be privatized? They can't be privatized.
Well, yes, they are privatized.
They are.
There are some federal prisons.
There can
that
be
are
a federal
privatized.
prison
Yeah.
that an individual owns and
Yes.
call it a federal prison?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, man, that's what it is, man. This is. I'm telling you, man.
All right, the recidivism rate
Yeah.
amongst drug offenders
Yeah.
is very high, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
How high? Would you speculate?
Well, yes. The last figures that I've seen, I think they said like 1 out of every 4 or 5 individuals return with drug, repeat offenders.
Now, there's no jobs available for the ex-cons when they come out of the prison system here.
Yeah.
They're having a big problem, although I have some friends that are lobbying for this.
Yeah.
They don't have any rights. A lot of prospective employers don't want to hire them.
Yeah.
They don't get any rehab in there. So and I've been on drugs.
Yeah.
So if I don't get rehab in prison, I don't care if I've been in there 10 years, more than likely, I'm going to start using the day I get out. That's all I'm thinking about. So they don't have rehab. Some of them have NA or a little class, right? But there's not much in the way of conforming,
That's right.
reforming.
That's right.
Not to the prison's mindset, but making them a productive member of society where they can go out, get a job, and have a family. Programs are gone.
That's right.
So it's just a revolving door.
That's right. And I read something very scary before when I was incarcerated. I forget where I read it from, but they said that the new rehabilitation is sentencing you to the point that you're an old man when you come out so that you won't have it in you to be able to commit another crime.
You're tired.
Yeah, you're just done. But even to that extent, man, it's tight out here, man. And,
It's way tighter now than when you went in, especially in this city.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this must be a shock to you to see all these abandoned
my
homes
goodness, man.
and the level of violence and the disregard and value for human life.
You don't know it, but man, the building is burning up over there on Grand. When I came in here, man, again, I know it was a fire over there the other day, but yeah.
Grand near Woodward?
Yeah, in Woodward. Oh man, big fire. Yeah.
There's fires here all the time.
Yeah.
I came to work one day, came to the studio one day, and there was 3 fires alone right on the corner of Victor and Woodward. So your book.
Yeah.
Your book is autobiographical or biography of you? What is it?
Yes, this here is a memoir. It is an autobiography, and the crux of it is telling the story of my best friend Sam and myself, our destinies. I think that this is my destiny right here. My destiny is to tell this story, and this was very therapeutic for me to write this story because me and this guy here were like brothers, and this was an extreme tragedy in my life, and this
Big
is the
loss.
best way that I can actually turn it around. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm not that concerned about sales or anything of that nature, man.
Getting the word out.
I had to tell this story because hopefully his story can some young man's life around who could be potentially following that same path.
First of all, I want to tell you how proud we are that you have done this, that you're out, and obviously you seem, I would stake my life that you want to have a good, prudent. What are your dreams and aspirations now? What do you want to do?
Well,
work is hard to find.
Because work is hard to find, but we have to be creative out here. And that's the reason why I just formed a company called Urban Intellects, and I'm trying to get it off the ground. A couple of the things that I'm going to be doing a few things under Urban Intellects. But one of the things that I'll be doing is that during the course of my incarceration, I study law and I study chess, and I would like to actually use those chess skills, because the 4 elements of chess are the same elements of the social interactions of life, and I would like to use those elements to help guide a lot of these troubled youth on the right path by helping to instill proper thinking patterns in them.
Are you talking, what are you, 36?
I'm 37 years old.
37.
Yeah.
We got about a minute left. I can't get into too much more, but tell me, name your book, where it's available, or any contact information you have.
Okay. Well, the name of my book is Highland Park, Keeping Dates with Destiny, and I'm selling the book right now myself. Soon I'll be putting it in bookstores and doing a little bit better with the promotion, but you can reach me at 313-778-8169.
If a school wants you to come talk to the kids, or any organization, will you do that?
I would certainly do that. I would love to do that.
Okay. And in the course of this year, we're going to put together a panel where we are going to go. A lot of us leaders are going to go to schools and talk to kids, and we're going to incorporate you. I appreciate you coming here. I have the utmost respect for you for what you're doing. And I myself was on drugs for 25 years. I was a drug dealer, and I'm very lucky that I didn't go to prison. And anybody can turn the life around if they want to bad enough. Isn't that right?
That's right.
There's always hope. You got to make your mind up.
That's right.
It's got to come from deep within. So you're a miracle.
Yes, and I appreciate
God
you
has
for that.
bestowed upon you a second chance.
Yes.
And obviously this was your destiny. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much.
You're
for
welcome.
having me.
Sit tight for a minute, and
Okay.
we'll see everybody next week. Thank you to all our guests, Mr. Geronimo and Ryan. It was a pleasure. I got my workout without getting the workout today. I got a cerebral workout, and all my other guests. And Saturday, come out to the Buttsville Recreation Center, 10,500. Linden, make sure you come out to our boarding up of the house on Monday, 2226 Fairview. And that's off Verner. I'm going to take a quick call if we can. Hello, you're on the air. We got about 30 seconds. Okay, you're gone. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week. Be safe. Help your neighbor. Watch out for the women and children on your street. See you next week. Days, 9 p.m. on TV 33. Join me, Barry Ross, on Mixing It Up. We'll feature informative community organizations that will offer solutions to Wayne County residents in reference to employment, safety, and security within neighborhoods, job training, education, and mentoring programs. Remember, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Join me, Barry Ross, Mixing It Up on TV 33.
You're watching UHF TV 33, Detroit Highland Park.